Hello. So if this is your first time seeing my channel, welcome. I'm a primarily watercolor channel, but do things with fountain pens and inks, and sort of got the score that I didn't think would happen today at the thrift store, which was this pretty much new Rolodex. Like, none of the cards have been used, for $1.50. It was marked as being $3, but if you were wearing red, it was half off today. So it was $1.50, and I have now watched a whole bunch of different people swatch into Rolodexes, and I have a plan. The plan is that we are going to get rid of all of these cards. This is how I normally swatch ink. They're a bit smaller than a baseball card, but they fit into baseball card sleeves quite well. The issue with them though is that it can be quite hard to like figure out brands and stuff, and I'm tired of them and I'm done. So we're done with those. I have not decided though if I'm going to be adding my pen nib swatches to this. In my head, it sort of makes sense to swatch out all my pens again and add them into this. We'll see. It won't be happening now. Also, the coloring isn't going anywhere. This is like essential to my life and lives in my purse and travels upstairs and downstairs with me, so that if I'm planning a video not in the studio, I've got the list of colors that I use with me. This is not going anywhere, but the cards that live as either a mess or in binders, we're done. I'm done with them. We are upgrading the system. Also, I just got the Wear and swatch cards, which very clearly don't fit in here. I think I could probably I could cut the holes so that like they're slotted in with the right colors for the ones I swatch, but really the Wear and cards in my studio are for fun. I just like to play around with them, and so I don't see the point. That might change. For now though, they're just gonna live in their own world. The plan for this is that as of this moment, this will only be bottled ink. I will not be including all the stuff I have in sample files. A couple of these are stained, so we're going to use those as our experiment cards. The other thing I've decided is that it's going to be organized by brand. My ring is organized by color, which is great, but it does get sort of confusing at times, and so this is going to be organized by brand. Hopefully that makes things easier. So what are we going to start with? Let's start with something that I have 85 mils of. So if I don't like how I swatch it, I can try again. Also, it's all Ferris Wheel Press inks for now. They just happen to be what's sitting next to me after filming something for Instagram. I'm also going to be very professional, fountain pen YouTuber, and swatch with Q-tips so that I don't have to clean a billion paintbrushes. All right, sure. We might just go ahead with this first one. So this is Morningside Mint. Morningside, yeah. There. All right. actually like that. So we're just gonna roll with that. We are going to roll with just sort of swatching them, and then, but just like swatching them that way. I like it. I don't know that it'll work super well for shimmers. We'll have to see how well it works with shimmers. But for now, I like it. Let's tuck that there. Let's grab this. Coloring does make swatch paper specifically that fits in a Rolodex. I watched a video that compared the two, and they actually said there wasn't a huge difference, and because of that, I'm just gonna swatch on the Rolodex paper because I have no shortage of Rolodex paper. So I see no problem with just swatching straight onto the Rolodex paper, and based on how it worked for the mint, like it's not, takes ink pretty well. I just like am not a pro at swatching with a swab because I never do it. I always swatch with a brush, but if I'm swatching all of my ink colors, that would be a lot of going and cleaning brushes properly. We're gonna accept that as being good enough. And then they're getting tossed into a plastic container so that they do not roll onto the floor. Because I cannot deal. Oh, I need to write a name. What's this? Algonquin maple is what this is. Oh, that actually makes a really good folder. Algonquin maple, that's another matte. I'm using my watercolor cups so that it's separated by color. Not separated by color, separated by finish, so that the after shimmer ink, it doesn't go back in the matte. Like it just gets rinsed off in the right cup. Because I am like that. But I think I'm going to swatch all my mattes first before I do my shimmers. That's how I think I'm going to do this. Which means I need that. I need that. I need that, I need that, I need that, I need that. Really, when you get rid of all your ink samples, it does make it seem like I have a much more reasonable ink collection than I actually have. Let's do pink eraser next. As I said, these are going to be organized alphabetically, unlike my swatch ring that's organized by color. Purely because sometimes it's really hard to find a color when you're looking for it alphabetically, if like the swatch online looks different than your swatch. And so I want to have one of these that's done alphabetically. I do love pink eraser. I don't have it in a pen currently, but I think it's going to go in a pen in March. Because it really does look like a pink school eraser. I think I'm going to let, once the ends of those swabs are dry, like I'll swatch with just the other end, but I don't feel like getting ink all over my hand. Spow. S-E-R. I was right. Brain injury perk. I'm only 3 cards in and I'm already in love. It sort of feels dangerous. I'm so few in and I'm already really, really happy. Though to be fair, I was stupidly happy in the thrift store today when I found it. Like, over the moon excited. No 23-year-old should be this excited about getting a Rolodex. But there I was. And I'm not putting the brands on because I'm sorting them by brand. And so I don't see the point. I might go through and label the backs with a brand. That sort of seems smart. But unlike my watercolor swatch book, I have very little fear of like everything falling out and not being able to figure out where things belong. Whereas in the watercolor book, it's sort of a constant fear. Peter Moss. Just probably my absolute favorite green I've ever tried. I got it as a sample and then I had to find a bottle of it. Anyway, I'm running out of space on my laptop to store all your swatches, but whatever. Oh, I smudged it. How much is that going to bug me? That's going to bug me quite a lot. We had our first casualty. All right. Peter Moss gets to come out again. Can I figure out which swab? Yes, that one's Peter Moss. All right. Nope, you have to label before you put the name on. You can't tell, I need a desk protector for a reason. Last time I swatched ink vials, I dumped 4 ml of ink on my desk, so the desk protector serves a purpose. Okay, we're going to be really careful this time and not touch the letters. Success. I think if my casualty rate is less than like, let's go less than 10%, I'm fine. Dusk and Bloom is up next. And it is always normally in my daily driver pen. It is not currently because that pen is empty. And because it is fully empty and I'm about to do a what's in my pen video, and I have other pens that I need to clean anyways, I have decided that the Quaco is going to get a full clean. But it is an absolutely stunning color. It is so, so pretty. It's like a blue that's practical while still being light and fun. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. There's Dusk and Bloom, which means Harlequin Dreams is up next. I'm just going to work through them in the order that I've set them out on the desk for practicality's sake. I believe that Harlequin Dreams was the January color. I want to say it was January when it came out. Again, that might be wrong. No, it was January, because February was the color of the year. That was the purple we got in February. So, Harlequin Dreams. Sort of reminds me of Dusk and Bloom when it goes down onto paper. Dries much more purple. I sort of wish it had been a darker version of Dusk and Bloom. I think I would use it more. But it is still very pretty. I don't know how to spell its name though. I will say on this paper, it doesn't look. There's Dusk and Bloom. There's Harlequin Dreams. Oh yeah, no, you can tell that it's way more purple. When it goes down onto paper though, it does look more blue. And so I always have a moment where I go, oh, is it like actually blue? It's not. It's very much a purple. Get to go away. Moves there, moves back there. What are we on now? Oh, we are on one of my Madame Mulberry bottles. I have two. I bought one from a store. That's this one that was getting rid of their Madame Mulberry. They had it as a tester. It's about half empty. The issue was, I believe it was exposed to sunlight in the store, and so the color is different. Not bad different, just different. What I love about Madame Mulberry is it goes on gray. And then the colors change. So it'll go on gray and it will sort of change to a more pinky color. Spelled nice around, didn't I? Yep, I forgot the G. We're just gonna live with that. So it's already fading to its color. I'll just pop it over here. I will move the ones that I did earlier off of my laptop. And then we've got the new bottle. Well, not new. It's actually, I owned the other bottle before I owned this one, but one of them I purchased myself, and one of them, actually no, I purchased both myself. Like one of them I just bought secondhand, and that's the only difference. So this is the one though that I tend to use to ink up my Parker. It is more pink. I just like sort of prefer the color. That being said, it still goes on like that pale gray color that I really enjoy. I need more gray inks in my collection. I do actually really like the gray pastel-y inks. You can already see like it's fading to pink. It's a stunning color. Mulberry. So, I don't know if you can see, like the top one, once they're both dry, I'll compare them properly. But one is definitely like more gray than the other is, and so in turn the other one's more pink. We have Storied Blue. So this is actually, I know that this isn't the right color. Atlas has already sent a replacement bottle that's on its way to me. It is supposed to be this very lovely sort of blue with sort of like an indigo undertone, or pinky indigo-y undertone. This bottle, for whatever reason, swatches out teal. It swatches out very similar to Diamine Celadon Cat, which is not what I wanted, and so Atlas, yeah, you can see it's very teal. It's just not, it doesn't swatch out the pretty dark blue that my previous sample from Ferris Wheel Press swatched. So a replacement has been sent by the company, and hopefully it's the right color. I hope. Because I do really love the other version. This just isn't it. Storied Blue. Like, it's still a very pretty color. I just wish it was a darker blue. Two left. We have the Sherry Sonata, which was the ink that came out I believe this was a February release color, a Feb 2024 color. But I might be wrong. No, it's the Feb 2024 color. It just came out. And it is very pretty. I currently have it in a pen. And I absolutely love it. It's currently in my Fluttering Hearts aluminum pen. do love this IKEA desk mat. I think when I got them, they cost like $2. I've got one here, one on a different table. They're great. We're gonna consider that a fail. Apparently I can't spell that's the Sherry Sonata's brush though. So let's look at this again. Not perfect, but whatever. T. Sherry Sonata. One matte color left. We only have writing desk left that I have in bottles. Because I don't think it makes sense to swatch all my ink samples. Unless they're like an ink sample that I'm planning to actually get the bottle of, I don't think it makes sense. This is the writing desk. It's a collaboration with Wonder Pens, which is one of my local pen shops. And I absolutely love getting to visit there. They're so knowledgeable, and not just about pens they carry. Like when the staff saw that I had a vintage pen in my bag but was buying waterproof ink, they made sure to let me know that I shouldn't be putting that ink in the pen. And they're just so knowledgeable. It is also probably the only brown ink I will ever own, because I don't necessarily use brown ink, and I've probably only used, I would say maybe, if I'm being generous, I've used maybe a mil. Of this, and I've had it since the spring, and it's been in a pen. I've used it for a bunch of art pieces. I just don't reach for brown ink all that often compared to some of the other stuff I use all the time. I'm gonna say something shocking. I thought I had more bottles of matte ink. Now that I've swatched out all of those matte inks, I'm realizing just ignore this top row. These are all different pen nibs for either dip pens or fountain pens. I'm realizing just how many ink samples I actually have. Like, it's not a small number. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to think about this whole not swatching samples thing. So next up is, let's do their normal shimmers, and then let's end with Ferritales. That's more fun. But what I want to start with are the inks of the year. Do I? Yes. So we have Fluttering Hearts, which was last year's ink of the year. Mom got this for Christmas. It's a very pale pink with champagne glitter in it, I believe. Oh, these boxes don't have the description on them. The other boxes that have the description. This is the Ferritales collection that have the description. Okay, we're gonna go that it's a pale pink with a champagne ink, because that's what my brain is telling me it is. I've also never tried to swab shimmer inks, so this might not work. I don't know if the swab will just like absorb all the shimmer. I have to say, it's going on with the swab so much paler than it actually is. Like, it's quite a pretty ink. But there is still shimmer, so we will continue to use this method for the shimmers. Because I really don't want to clean brushes. Really, this is... I got the little silicone cap in backwards. Where are my tweezers? I guess I'll take an X-Acto knife. Can I just pop you out? I can just pop you out. Right. So, this is it the Fluttering Heart? It is the Fluttering Heart. Okay. How many mistakes can I fix on the same card? The answer is many. ink. So that's their 2023 ink of the year. I'm going to move my matte cup so that I don't clean anything off in it. And then I just got their 2024 ink of the year a few weeks ago. I think it's only been out since the beginning of February, and I got it in January. And it is quite fun. I quite enjoy it. Let's just pull it on the Ferritales as well. So next up we have the 2024 ink of the year, which is a Royales. It's in a very pretty like duo shading chrome box thing. I don't know how you want to describe it. It makes me really happy. And it has a chameleon shift to it. So let's shake this up. One of my friends has like one of those magnetic plates that you use in a lab to mix things that she uses for her ink bottles that have shimmer, and I am on occasion jealous because A, it looks really cool in videos, and B, she doesn't have to shake her inks a bunch anymore. They come where she just, you know, gets to drop a little thing into them and they agitate themselves. Though I don't know if she leaves it in them for until like they're empty. I should ask. Because like otherwise like you're having to get something out of an ink bottle all the time, which seems like would be really annoying. This is a Royales, which I don't think I've spelled correctly once on the first try. U-R-O-R-E-A-L. Royales. 2024 ink. It's incredibly pretty. I don't know if the camera will pick up the shift because it is now dark and so the lighting is not 100%, but we are down to the last 15-ish inks, I'd say. So I think I'm going to finish all the Ferris Wheel Press ones in this video, but I definitely will not get to anything else. Stroke of Midnight. Great color. One of my favorites. Actually not my ink, it's Mom's. But it lives with my inks, and so I'm swatching it. That's sort of how this video was going. If it lives in my ink collection, regardless of if it's mine or not, it's getting swatched. If you've watched the fountain pen video, you'll know that I've got the same philosophy in that video. You know, you live in my pen rolls, you're, you know, and I ink you up and clean you, you're my pen, sort of. Really, they're not, they're Mom's, but like, whatever. I can borrow them for content. So she has Stroke of Midnight. I have Crystal Blue Legacy. Really, only difference is shimmer color. One has tone-on-tone shimmer. One has different shimmer to it. Stroke of Midnight, I think, has red, blue, silver, and gold all in it, but it might just be red, blue, and silver. But it is incredibly pretty. Not something I've put in a pen lately. Oh, I forgot to dot the I. Really, this is just giving me ideas for my inked video for March. I tend to do only do an inked video every 6 weeks. So this is giving me ideas for March. Madame Mulberry and Dusk and Bloom are always going in pens, but like the other ones, there are options. Let's move that over. I still can't believe that I got this with all the cards for $1.25. The best part was it was in the kitchen section. There's the blue tone on tone. I would actually, it almost looks like it's got a chameleon shift to it. where it goes from blue to like slightly purple. I might just be seeing things though. It was in with all the kitchen stuff. Like it wasn't in the section that I would thought it would be in. And I've been looking for one for months without any luck. Or the ones that I've found have been broken. And I almost, actually I do. I like this one more than like the spinny ones because it's easier to see things. It's so hard to see the tone on tone glitter. This is Crystal Blue Legacy. I think this one came out in the fall last year. I could be totally wrong on dates for some of this stuff. Just because of not actually really anything I have from them. I can't even say anything I have from them came out last year because like I purchased Madame Mulberry and I am absolutely positive that Madame Mulberry came out before last year because I lusted after Madame Mulberry for a whole bunch of time before I ended up buying it. I would say that based on what I've swatched so far, I probably am in need of a matte yellow in a bottle. Like that feels lacking. I've got some orange samples from Ferris Wheel Press, but I think I could use a bottle of a yellow because then like it gives me the ability to mix other colors. But they've discontinued butter popcorn, and so I don't know that they've got a straight yellow anymore. I need to look it up. This is Cabernet on the Lake. I want to say this was recent. This might have been as recent as January. It wasn't December. Because December was the blue and the gold. I think this was January. I think this and Harlequin Dreams were both January. Oh no. That was Sherry Sonata. Cabernet on the Lake's been out for like months because I had it in a pen. It was in my Lammy. There's still blue in that pen. There's no longer blue in that pen. Not awful, we're gonna live with it. Sketchy, but not awful. I do really like Cabernet on the Lake. The issue is my Lammy Vista can never be another color. It can never be something that isn't a pink or red shimmer. It is so badly stained with shimmer stuck in the feed that like it's going to be shimmer for all time. And I've realized that I just like was not prepared for my Lammy Vista to be shimmer for all time. This is Hardy Harvest. It is an orange. It is a lovely orange. It's the orange that made me realize that maybe I didn't hate orange. Maybe I just hated the oranges that I'd seen up till this point in inks. And I did a super fun pumpkin piece with it last year. Or in the fall. Yeah, I guess that's last year. I don't know if I posted that though. I didn't, because it was, I want to say I just did a picture of it, and so it'll be over on Instagram. But there might be, if you scroll back far enough, there might be a short on it. It's really, I don't know. I can't remember if I filmed it or if I just like was playing around for the fun of it and then created something I really liked and so posted a picture of it over on Instagram, which is oftentimes what happens. Playing with ink tends to be like my de-stressor in between projects. And so a lot of the time I don't film what I'm doing and then I regret not filming what I did. I absolutely love this glass dip pen. It's a Moon Man, who are also a different company. They've had to change their name, but I don't remember if they changed their name from Moon Man to something else or from something else to Moon Man. And it's a glass dip pen, but the glass dip section is replaceable and has a cover, which means I am not constantly afraid of breaking it, because when I do inevitably break a nib about once every 6 months, I can just replace them, and it's brilliant. Versus a normal glass pen where they're quite expensive and I would be constantly terrified of breaking it. This is Frontenac. Sure, let's go with Frontenac blue. I never know how to say the name of this one. It is really pretty. It's like a teal with a purpley blue shifting glitter in it. It was part of their Christmas collection, which I also think was called Winter Carnival, maybe? I should know this. They send me product, though over half of what I've swatched they have not sent me, which is why this does not have a paid partnership label. Because they only pay me to make Instagram content, and even then it's payment in product, not, yeah. So I think this was part of their Christmas collection. I might be wrong. No, this was a December color. So this was part of their Christmas collection. I don't know what set it's part of though. Like they do trios and ink chargers. I know it's in one. I just don't know which one. It's already separated out. That is something I do, yeah, it's already separated out. That is something I find annoying about some of their inks, is that they separate really quickly. And so that in the time it took to swatch it, it had already separated out. There, I can do an F. Font. Really pretty. It's got a pretty light shimmer, like even just swatching the name. Compared to some of their other shimmers, like it's not as noticeable. It's still quite pretty. Then we have my favorite blue, which is Riveting Pond. This is part of their Ferritales line from last year. You can see the shift at the bottom. and it is absolutely stunning. It is such a pretty color. I think the base is Blue Yosemite Falls, but I might be wrong on that. The Riveting Pond, and it shifts pink and yellow. We have Poison Envy, which was my first Ferritales ink, and it made me absolutely fall in love with the concept of really, really interesting inks. I don't know that it's going to shift on this paper. This is the one ink that I'm debating actually needing to get the Color O swatch cards for, and just having like a stack of them for like really unique inks that would probably benefit. But we'll see if we get the green. Don't know that we will. I also used Poison Envy in a pen, which did not stain, unlike the other pens, and I know from experience that this settles. So let's see if it does the really cool green while I swatch its name. Poison Envy. Oh, we are getting some of the green. Don't know that you can really see it, so I'll lift it up and see, like right here, you're starting to see some of the green coming through. It's faint, but it's there. Like you can sort of see the hue. All right. 5 colors left. We're gonna end with this year's fairy tale collection because they have sort of renamed, revamped it, and they're all part of a set. So let's do Plated Gold Tresses. Really pretty gold ink. With how fantastic this gold ink is, I think they could do a really fabulous silver ink, because no one has a fabulous silver ink, and my artsy brain and studio needs one. Oh, this is not going to swab down, is it? Oh, maybe. I will say it's a lot darker when you put it down with a brush. I might do a second layer over all of this, because that's the color it normally is, like it's that golden. It's really pretty. Just like has a nice warmth and body to it. And I think I spelled this ink wrong on every single PR post I did. Brain injury thing, I kept writing Plated Gold Trees. Every single piece of PR I did for this collection. It is not plated gold trees. Though, try telling that to my brain-injured self who, for an entire month, called it the wrong name. And only caught that she was calling it the wrong name in January. That was so lucky. I can't believe it didn't smudge. I can't believe it didn't smudge. Oh. Oh, I'm leaving those ones. This is Brilliant Beanstalk. There was a matching pen for this. I have it. I have the plastic version. There was an aluminum version as well. I liked the aluminum version better, but I didn't get it. My hands on it in time. Sold out. There we go. Brilliant Beanstalk. We have 3 colors left. And with putting them away, I will start with what I swatched first. So that things should be sort of dry. I would say the number one complaint people had about swatching on the actual paper was warping. It's not nearly as bad as I expected based on how people were complaining about it. Like, I expected it to be horrendous, and like some of the cards are a bit curved, but like nothing like what I expected based on how people were complaining about swatching on them. This is Sugar and Spite, not Sugar and Spice. I don't know that I actually put it up in a post, but I did label a swatch card, Sugar and Spice, because the box is also candy themed. Like, logically, the logic was there. Sugar and Spite. And the last 2 are this year's Ferritales. So I don't know if they've stopped doing other themed Ferritales and are only doing this one set this year, but this one set is themed and there are 12. There's one for every month, and so far there have been Radiant Rose Wings and Knitted Nettle. Both are lovely. I think I prefer Radiant Rose Wing just because it's more in the color palette of colors that I'd actually use. It's this very pretty pink with a gold silver shift to it, but they're both very pretty. They've both got color shifting glitters in them, and they both look like magic little potions when you open them and stir them. But this corally one is definitely much more in like the color palette that I actually use in my day planner. So maybe it'll be in a pen in February. I guess March, right in the middle of February. Did not make it into my what's inked for January and February. It might for my March, April though. You never know. Never know what I'm gonna pick. And this is it the, no, it's just Radiant Rose Rings. Rose Wings. One left, which is Knitted Nettle. Just got, I think, the same shifter as Royales, or that's what I've heard people say. I haven't actually compared and like figured that out for myself. I maybe should. There's just so many other things to do. There are so many things to paint and swatch and play with and organize. So it is a very green. When I first got it, I thought the base was potentially bluegrass velvet. I'm not sure anymore. Like it sort of feels more green than bluegrass velvet. But it is very pretty. And of course I've tossed the box. I did. Nettle. So I'm going to organize these in alphabetical order, regardless of if they're shifters or not, for my sanity. Because again, sometimes when you're ink shopping, like swatches don't look the same, and it would be nice to have one sort of swatch thing that was done in alphabetical order. Yeah, I've got my spreadsheet that I can just search by name, but like sometimes I don't want to. So let's find the F section. There's F. And we have Royales. Does a Royales come before Algonquin? A-L, yeah, A-L comes before Algonquin. These, I think, are dry. I'm gonna give the, I spelled storied wrong. I forgot to do the line on my T. I'd say that's pretty well clean. Let's do a line on the T that we forgot about. It would not be a me video unless I, forgot to do something. I bet you that Kleenex looks like an absolute piece of artwork after this. So the fact that I made it through this entire video, I've only screwed up 2 cards, and I've only used 1 Kleenex and have not dumped a bottle of ink. This might be the first ink video that nothing's been dumped. We've got Dusk and Bloom, Cabernet on the Lake. Dusk and Bloom. That goes there. Harlequin. Does Harlequin go before? Yeah. Hardy Harvest? Yes. Crystal Blue Legacy goes after Cabernet on the Lake. Poison Envy goes down here. S, M goes in here. Are we gonna shelve it by the or fluttering hearts? I look for it by F, so F is here. M-A, Madame Mulberry. You can sort of see the color difference of new versus old, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, sort of. Like, I'll post better pictures in sunlight. Sherry Sonata. That one feathered a crazy amount. S. S-H, just comes before S-T. Writing desk goes at the end. Pink eraser goes before poison envy. Peter Moss, again, forgot to do the T. Apparently that's a theme. Is that, you know, my T's aren't getting done. Sugar and Spite. Is up next, I think. Storied Blue is dry. ST. Storied Blue. Sugar and Spite. Brilliant Beanstalk goes all the way at the beginning. Before Cabernet on the Lake. Riveting Pond. Goes here. P Plated. PL. You go here. You both dry? No. You are though. PE means you go here. These are wet still, but Radiant Rose Wings and Knitted Nettle are our last two. And I only wrecked 2 cards. I forgot how to spell the, and I swiped my hand through Peter Moss. And I have a very artsy Kleenex, which maybe we'll keep for part 2, when I, probably next week, swatch all the rest of my inks, which aren't actually that many. I think I've got 1 bottle from Pannonia and 1 from Sailor and maybe 3 from Diamine for now. That's dry. Radiant Rose Wings. Knitted Nettle. Oh, I'm so happy. So, thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out while I swatch inks. There'll be a part 2. In all honesty, there'll probably be a part 10 of this video because I have an ever-growing collection of inks. For now, though, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Do you have a favorite yellow ink? Really, I feel like that's lacking. I need a yellow. Let me know what you think. How do you store your ink swatches? Because I have been sort of lusting after this idea, and I am utterly in love with it now. But it's not a practical idea for everyone. So I'd love to know how you store your inks. Thanks for watching.